So apparently, I did not go to the Battlestar Galactica convention. So I didn't get there.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was just a bad. It was like a bad week. So
You know, I always hate that and shit when it happens when just Murphy's Law decides just to, to go into, give you a power bomb. Murphy's Law just decides just, mess up everything that's going on in your life.
Murphy had like a Taliban vest on that day, and
Hey, look at Murph.
he ran into the crowd and he just hit that little red
So,
button.
Murphy had a whole coordinated strike.
Okay.
It's like, okay, you can stop now anytime. Oh,
That's why
gosh.
I have half a bottle of Jameson left. So
Hey, Jameson for the win. Jameson for the win. All right.
we are live on YouTube, I believe.
We are live on YouTube, yes. And we're live on the radio.
Okay. Live on the radio. It is 2:00. Oh my God. It's 2:00. Okay. Well,
Yes.
it's 2:00 on my phone.
It is 2:00.
It is time for Model Citizen. I am your host, George Dayer. Our guest should be coming here shortly. His name is Augie Gonzalez. He is from Interstellar Modeler. I already gave him demerits in our chat for in our Facebook Messenger chat. We were chatting. I do not know if Printmaster James is going to be here. He might show up. We don't know. It could be. He did not say anything, but I am accompanied by my terrific, wonderful host, my co-host, the angerest of IT nerds, Gilbert Floyd.
Hello.
And our sponsors are Tenant Controls, bringing models to light, and AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. If you cannot get to their Magnolia store, or if you cannot get to their store in Magnolia, New Jersey, they do have a website called megahobby.com. So all the models that they sell, in-house, they could just ship them out to you, anywhere in the world. So go to megahobby.com. And that is the business end of the program. And how is the squirrel doing? I want to know. Have you gotten the fur on it yet?
I haven't got the fur on it yet. I'm trying to, see, this is where I need to really kind of be like more of like a seamstress, or like have kind of like a background,
to strategically place the fur onto the body. But you don't really have. Well,
so
what you should do is make a pattern.
Yeah.
So what you should do is make a pattern of what you're going to cut out before you cut it out. Put like you can make like a paper pattern if you wanted to. You can make a usually with sewing there's something called muslin. It's like a it's like a woven cotton, fabric. You can use that as the pattern for the fur. So you could put that over the model, and
now I do have the oh hell, the barge.
Oh yeah, dude,
to got that onto
because you will see pink elephants when you open that thing up, man. That stuff is strong.
Well, I didn't get the big, the big canister of it.
Yeah, the real big one.
They had said this one right here. I'm not sure if that'll work, but I'm going to try it out and see.
Yeah,
but
that should work.
But it seemed like it was the the same stuff, the same solution. It's just in a instead of being in
it's
like
in a
the
squeeze tube.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just in a squeeze tube. Yeah, that's what it seems like. So I'm gonna try it out to see.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
should test a sample, like make another make a 3D print and just test it out with something
Yeah,
before, like, test out like a little swatch of it and then see if it sticks right or
and see what I have to do if it'll
yeah.
stick
Because usually
or
with
yeah.
barge you have to put it on the surface of the model first and
Mm-hmm.
let it set up and then put it on the back of the fabric and then let it set up. I think it's like 90 minutes. I'm not sure if it's 90 minutes. I forget what it was.
Okay.
But it gets tacky once it starts to dry and it doesn't it hasn't dried fully.
Then that's when
Like you would
you
actually put the two together and you would mate the two and
mm,
then make sure that there's no bubbles. You're going to have to roll it out so you make sure
okay.
that there's no bubbles. But
Played
that's where the
in.
pattern comes in. So you would have to put the pattern into the
Okay, because yeah, it says here. Yeah, allow spread it on both sides. Um, then allow to dry 15 to 20 minutes, and then press together,
right.
and then allow it to cure overnight. So,
Right. Right.
all right, simple enough.
Because it has to stick. It has to basically work into the fibers of the backing of the cloth you're going to put on if you're going to put cloth
Mhm.
on, and then it has to work into um the like the surface of the plastic. So if you can make like scratches
Mm-hmm.
with a knife because you're not really going to see it once you put the fur over it. And
Yeah.
then you apply the surface. It'll actually have something like to bite into when
Mm-hmm.
like when it starts to set up in 15 minutes. So,
Okay. All
but
right.
once it's on, man, it's on.
Nice. So, what's gonna end up happening is that once this fur gets put on and it's set and it's cured and good thing is that it I can paint on it. So it'll allow me to paint like even just using like just the same stuff I always use like the Rust-Oleum or like
Oh
even
yeah,
Krylon. Yeah.
yeah.
So I just have to be kind of like really subtle with my spraying
Well,
because but
the thing I would do is use like I guess you can use an enamel, but you can
okay, but
if you did subtle shading with acrylic, if you made a mistake, you could wipe it
mm,
off. You could wash it off.
yeah.
Um,
So, we'll see.
See what happens.
Either way it goes, we'll see what happens. Regardless, Thomas is getting the squirrel with it. He's getting the squirrel. Oh my goodness! And so, and I got an idea on what to use to prop it up so it stands upright. And and shout out to my co-host Aaron from Hot Takes and Big Mistakes for giving me this idea. To stand him up with a stripper pole.
Oh my God, that's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Thomas is getting a squirrel with a stripper pole. That's happening. That's
You
happening.
could with it if you 3D printed out the stripper pole, you can actually put the Molotow chrome on that, like spray it like gloss black, and then airbrush it with the Molotow chrome. If you're gonna do chrome, if you're gonna do like a brass pole, you would do the Molotow chrome and then use a they make a gold let's see. Augie is coming in now, so
Okay.
Augie can join now.
'Cause-
But you could put like a gold tint on the chrome, so it'll still show through.
well, see, I have a bunch of wooden dowels that I was going to use, and some of a bunch, a few of them up like really kind of thick, so it's solid, so it holds it up in place, and then spray it from there, and kind
Okay.
of fill it up, and you know what I mean. So
And our guest is here. It's
Hey,
Augie
guys.
Gonzalez from Interstellar Modeler.
Ah,
Welcome.
Hey, how you
Model
doing?
Citizen, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We
Yep,
can.
absolutely.
All right, great. Sorry for being late.
Demerits. No. That's right. I don't. No, it's all right.
so I always say like in Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, a wizard is never late. He's at the time he intended to be here. So you're on the time. You're at the time you intended to be here.
That's right. That's right. How you guys doing?
Good. Good.
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. Your friend Lou Damaso says hello.
Oh, great, great.
I was on a Zoom with Steve Neal about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. 'Cause
Yeah.
Steve, Steve has like a maker Zoom.
Mhm.
So it's all these guys, who are either retired or almost dead, and they're all model builders and stuff.
Right.
And so Lou was on. There was Simon Merckx was on. Steve Dix. I don't know if you know Steve Dix.
I'm not familiar with that name, yeah.
He's an English comedian. He makes these 8-minute films.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have to send you, the link that's on YouTube to his thing. It's really funny,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
it's like a science fiction type thing. But
Oh, cool.
so we have Augie Gonzalez on the from Interstellar Modeler, which is a fantastic YouTube channel.
Thank
I caught your YouTube channel early on. I think the first video I watched was the Buck Rogers Marauder.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That was from like was that 8 years ago or 11?
Yeah, something like that.
8 years ago.
Yeah. It's been a while.
And I'm like going, okay, I'm hooked on this channel, and I put it in my in my list of channels.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate
yeah,
that.
so it's I build models, but I scratch build stuff. So
Yeah.
I do sculpting and I do casting and stuff like that. And I'm working on the Rat Bat Spider from Angry Red Planet. 'Cause I never
Okay.
got the lunar models one, so I had to make my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that
Cool.
it's been 12 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
It takes that long.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
I've seen I've seen a lot of your Space 1909. I saw the laser tank
Mhm,
and everything. I'm working on, and I will send one to you if you want, for nothing. You don't have to pay me for it. I'm working on the nuclear area 2 silo
Oh, okay.
with the radiation, with like the radiation canisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on that.
Nice.
I'm also working on nuclear area 1, the mound.
Wow.
And that's almost done. So
Yeah.
I just have to make the mold masters. It takes a while to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot of mold rubber. So
Yeah. And how large is this whole display going to
the the nuclear area 2 silo is actually for it's for the 148 scale Eagle,
be? Really? Wow. Uh-huh.
and then the nuclear area 1 mound is for the 172nd scale Eagle.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So it's hard to sculpt because I'm trying to create that iconic scene from Space 1909 that they never showed in the pilot
Yeah.
of the electrostatic discharge going up to the Eagle and actually exploding it.
Uh-huh.
So for the electrostatic discharge, I was going to use the flexible LED filament
Oh, yeah.
and then actually
Okay.
sculpt out the actual electricity.
Yeah. The bolts of.
Yeah. using clear resin and dryer sheets, spent
Wow.
dryer sheets. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's gonna
Okay.
be so I can do. And I saw that you did the Spock, the Spock with the three-headed snake, and I was like, why
Yes.
didn't he use the flexible LED filament for the phaser fire? I was like going, that model
Right.
really deserves that. I was like
Right,
going,
right, right,
and,
right.
and I was I mean, I was waiting for it, and I was like, he didn't use it.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't, like maybe he didn't know about it.
No, actually, I did not know about it at that point.
Okay.
In fact, I'm not. They probably were available at the time, but the first I had actually ever seen of that is on, at least someone really used it a lot, was on that channel Boyle Hobby Time. Have you followed his channel at all?
No, I haven't.
So he does quite well. Mainly what he does are dioramas, and
Okay.
a lot of them are scratch built. Some of them he'll combine with models like the Bandai models because they're smaller scale. But he started using a lot of those filaments there, and I was like, wow, that's really the first I'd seen of that, honestly. But yeah, that model would look cool with that
Yeah,
filament.
because
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
the the flexible LED filament. It's actually
Yeah.
dipped in silicon, so
Mhm.
it's very droopy.
Yes, it is.
So I said to myself, well, how can we make the beam straighter?
Uh-huh.
So I found I found a workaround. If you take the polypropylene tube out of
Uh-huh.
a spray bottle,
Okay.
that is your beam. So it's
Oh,
actually
okay.
a little bit straighter.
Yeah.
The filament actually sits in there.
Hmm.
It glows. You can actually sand it, so
Yeah.
you can make the beam, a little bit
Translucent.
better. And
Yeah,
then
right. Right.
and I said to myself, I just don't have that Spock model. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
My brother built, I think, one of the first ones back in the day,
Yeah.
and I was like, I never got that. And I was like, a three-headed snake. I was like, why would they put a three-headed snake? Like, we never saw the three-headed snake in Star Trek.
Right.
So a friend of mine actually did out of Sculpey, or out of epoxy sculpt. He did the Horta. So he actually put the Horta where the three-headed snake was.
Yeah. Right.
And then he,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, my whole thought there was, Spock, that we all know, probably wouldn't be phasering a snake like that, but the mirror universe would be chopping its head off with his phaser and putting it on his wall. So that would be more in line of what he would do. So that's what kind of prompted that whole idea to mold him into the mirror universe. Yeah. So
yeah, I had seen the video. You were working with another gentleman, and you were
Yeah,
going
Mark
back
Fraley,
and forth
yeah.
with yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the guy who inspired me to even just try figures because I really wasn't all that interested in painting figures before. But yeah, he kind of inspired me to give that a try, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, doing that.
Cool. So
Mhm.
the one question I usually what you have for for our guests is, who is Augie Gonzalez and how did you get here?
Yeah. So I I basically had no idea I'd ever start a YouTube channel, but really what got me all started with the process, because like many of us, we were in and out of model building through our lives, through either you're going to school, your career, all these other things. You have kids, all these things. Kids started getting a little older. I started, I have time to do more other things that I can do for myself. And so the thing that I was really wanting to build was that 350 scale Enterprise. When that came out, I really wanted to build that, and I had no idea how to light a model, and it came with this lighting kit, and that's what kind of got me to go onto YouTube and try to find some sources of people who might have some more knowledge than I had, even though I'd been building models on and off throughout that, prior to that, no idea. And so when I tried to look for some advice on YouTube, I just couldn't find any videos that were really worthwhile following.
Oh, wow.
And but Boyd Crompton, right? Boyd. From
Yeah, Boyd.
Yeah, he was the guy that I started following, and he had such an easygoing way of teaching things. And he also encouraged you just to try new things you never really had tried before, like lighting. And so that's really where I started to get some inspiration from. And then but because I couldn't find many other channels, most people were making these videos were like speed builds, right? So no narration, just music, and then boom,
Oh,
they're done. You're like, well, how did you get there? How did you do this? How did you do
oh,
that?
yeah.
Hmm.
No advice, nothing. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to try and make my own videos as I build this one, and I have enough experience, at least with a lot of things, I could at least pass on what I know, and then that's kind of
Yeah.
how the whole channel started. So it's been something I've been building models for a long time, but I've always liked to teach people stuff,
Hmm.
and that's how the channel got started. And here we are now, 13 years later, and all these videos done and 4 million views and some crazy. And it just never really never thought it would have amounted to anything. But I've really enjoyed the process of doing it, and I've heard from so many people from all literally around the world.
Wow.
Being in touch with people from, gosh, you name it, South Korea, Germany, England, Australia, just all over, either asking me questions or just getting in touch with me to let me know how much they've enjoyed the channel. And it was really cool to hear during the pandemic when a lot of people were just, shut down doing stuff, that they really liked the fact that my videos were out there and they got a lot from them. So it was really cool to hear from people all over. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of how it all got
I mean, your channel
started.
is it's not, it's very well thought out, I must say.
Thank you.
Like the
Yeah.
videos are well thought out.
Hmm.
They're
Hmm.
like you you do have a flair for teaching
Yeah.
as you're building.
Yeah.
Most guys can't do that. Most guys will just like build the model and go, "Well, here it is."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but how did you get to this step? What did you do? You
Yeah.
know, when
Right.
I
Yeah.
talked to Mark
Hmm.
Myers, I don't know if you ever met Mark.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, Mark has been on this show.
Hmm.
He is a stickler for like
Uh,
studio paint. Like
yes.
when he does a
Exactly.
model,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
I have a
Yeah.
39-inch Seaview that I haven't built yet,
Hmm.
and he's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, you got to get this paint," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why? The model is gray." He goes, "No," and he starts yelling at me.
Oh yeah.
He's like yelling at me on the phone.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
gray. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know,
He
you
was like
know.
that with the shuttlecraft when I asked him advice about the shuttlecraft, and that I purposely turned to him because I knew he's like that, and so I tried to get as close to all his mixtures as possible. But I knew that even if I got close, it would be better than anything I could probably formulate. And he's so well versed with the models and all these other things.
He-
But yeah, I mean that's one thing I try to do because it's interesting how the younger generation, they don't have much of a time span, attention span, right? But
mhm.
the folks I'm going after, those of us our age, we'll at least pay attention for a little while. And so, but nonetheless, I still want to keep it abbreviated to a point where you just get to the point. You're not just kind of dilly-dallying along, and there's a lot of things you can kind of edit out to hopefully keep your attention and answer the questions that you have. And I always try to keep in mind, what would I be asking? What would I want to know? And
Yeah,
early on, I wasn't really leaving a lot of information or links and those types of people really want to know, where did you get this? Where'd you get that paint? What paint mixture did you use? And so I try to list all those other things in the video's description too. But
yeah,
yeah,
I like the
yeah.
the color selection with the paint and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Then I've tried to dip into other things like I did this one segment called Hot Off the Bench, which I wish I still had time to do, but that was a lot of fun because I was able to do slideshows. I'd have modelers just send in pictures because I'd get pictures anyway.
oh,
And
cool.
I'd say, why don't we show off your work? And so I got pictures from all over, and I would have these slideshows, and we'd do a model tip and talk about some piece of model equipment or something and those segments were a lot of fun. It's just they can, all of this can be really time consuming, and with work and all these other things that I have. And the other fun I think I've had a lot of fun with is doing interviews. Trying to seek out people to do
Yeah,
interviews, right? And
yeah.
trying to
I've seen
find
your
modelers.
interviews, like like for Wonderfest, and
Yeah, yeah, right,
you know,
right. And that's
it's
been a lot of fun. It's just, as you well know, trying to get time zones coordinated, and it's a bit of a challenge. So,
yeah.
so I'll stick in one here and now and then, but that's what I've done. I've done now at Wonderfest a couple of times, and it's great to. I've interviewed even Nick Tate on the channel, which was really a big pleasure to do. And that's simply because I got in touch with Todd Morton and Gordon Moriguchi from Space
Hmm.
99 Props and Ships, and I said, hey, could you maybe finagle a way for me to get an interview with Nick Tate? And yeah, he was so great. So it's been a
Yeah.
lot of fun doing all these things. Yeah. Hmm.
Do you do any type of like props? Do you make props or you just make
I
models?
do, yeah. I have some videos. I've made some of the Strange New World. Made the phaser and the communicators. There's a video about that. I've done a Star Trek First Contact phaser rifle from a resin cast model,
The resin cast.
and
Okay.
yeah, and a few other things I think. Yeah, but those are a lot of fun to do too. I just running out of room to display all that stuff, right? And you guys
Yeah.
probably can empathize with that.
Yes,
My wife
I
tells me you only
can.
have so much real estate in the house you can display this stuff. Otherwise,
I like to build
Yeah.
studio scale models.
yeah,
That's my
yeah,
thing because I'm older and my
yeah,
eyes are like getting bad, and
yeah,
you're like going, well, if I have a bigger model, I
yeah,
could put
yeah,
the
Yeah.
electronics in instead of getting
yeah.
a smaller model and trying to.
Right. And those have got to be a lot of fun
Mhm.
to work with, I'm sure, because part
The
of it is like because as kids we would watch, we all read Starlog magazine and watch these model builders make these things, and I
Mm.
can only imagine it must be fun to work on bigger scale
I
ships.
talking to Doug Drexler about because he had worked on some of the models for Star Trek Voyager for Next Generation. He worked on the models for the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how big was the Reliant? He said, well, the Reliant was like, it's like 5 feet in diameter. And the way they lit it, at the time,
Yeah.
because they didn't have LEDs, back in
Right.
the 80s,
Right.
they had
Mhm.
neon tubes. So the entire primary hull saucer section had these interconnecting tubes.
Wow.
And I said, well, then how did you put light onto the registry numbers? He goes, oh, we used Streamlight flashlight light bulbs. So
Hmm.
the ones that would go into the Streamlight, we had
Uh-huh.
3 of them that were underneath the bridge. If you see it on the model, and
Yeah.
it's actually put at an angle, and
Yeah.
it shines onto the registry number. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It- he goes, that model took a lot of heat, so
Oh, I imagine.
certain things, had melted. They did the same thing with the Vipers
Yeah.
in Battlestar Galactica.
Hmm. Hmm.
They used quartz lights, but John Dykstra, to do the turbo effect, they took liquid nitrogen and they sprayed liquid nitrogen
Yes.
over the thing to do the turbos. But
Right.
the rear end of those Vipers had to be made out of brass or metal
Hmm.
because I think they tried plastic
Yeah.
and it melted, of course.
Yeah.
So then they kind of did like a brass or like aluminum understructure.
Hmm.
They had to cool it like with nitrogen
Yeah.
to cool the lights, and then they had to force the other CO2 through it to do the turbo effect. And I was like, wow, that's like a lot of engineering.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the shot is beautiful though. Yeah.
Hmm. Sure.
So,
Yeah. Totally.
yeah, it's yeah, like when I'm building a studio scale model, I'm like, because I was talking with my friend Mike Stein on our last show. He's part of a
Mhm.
Star Trek club. I had built a Kirk chair back in
Mhm.
2013 for his ship, and I built it. And I'm like, and this was in my old shop, like when I lived in New Jersey. Kind of like I live in Pennsylvania now, so
Uh-huh.
I was like, how am I going to get this chair through the door? Like, I brought everything in, and like I built it all, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm like like I'm measuring the door, measuring the chair, measuring the door, and like, oh, I think I painted myself into a corner, and so it was, yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's things like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Do you? I mean, have you built like any type of studio scale model?
Probably the closest I got was doing that conversion of the Millennium Falcon because that's about 3 feet long,
Oh,
and so that was it was all the rage at the time. The Hasbro Millennium Falcon came out.
the Hasbro
Yeah,
model.
it was interesting
Okay.
because it was just a toy with nothing in it. It was just this plastic Millennium Falcon. You couldn't stick action figures, nothing. And but the detail outside wasn't too bad. And So I saw Randy Cooper did his, and then he
Oh.
started making these resin pieces you could buy from him, and some photo etch pieces. And so I got a hold of one, and and it was really a lot of fun to scratch build some stuff for that as well. But that's probably the closest I've ever gotten is that one. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any models you can show us, or like small?
I
little
do,
things?
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
was
let's
it?
see. So
I don't want to take anything out of the case. I don't want any. I don't want you to.
right, right. Well, this is my
Oh, nice.
this
Oh,
is the CD here, right?
That's
And
That's the third. Is that the
this is the Mobius model.
Mobius 39 inch?
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is one of my favorite ones. And it comes, of course, with the. I wish at the time I had thought about putting the flying sub and hooking it magnetically in there, but I didn't. I didn't think about that until it was after the fact.
Don't show that to Mark Myers. He's going to say it's the wrong color.
It's
But
wrong.
that's okay. We're not going to.
Yeah,
Mark's
no
not
doubt.
on today.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorites is the Battlestar Galactica from Mobius, also, and this is one that I have
Oh wow.
put up.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I even put into the back sides of the landing bay. You can actually, if you peered into there, you'd be able to see the mural that they used in the show.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Oh,
Screenshot of that.
Very cool.
Yeah, and but I loved this one a lot because gosh, all we had was that monogram kit for years, and it just was terrible. And so this is one of my favorite builds here for sure. Yeah, and as you see behind me, I've got a lot of other ones back there. Let's see, I've gotten into doing more dioramas, and this is one I did for Wonderfest not too long ago. And this is a 172 scale model of the shuttlecraft.
Oh yeah.
Supposed to
Shuttlecraft with
replicate the
the
scene,
yeah.
with the big creature there ready to pounce on it with a big rock. And
nice.
this one's from Cosmic Scale Models. It's a 172 scale model of the shuttlecraft there. Yeah,
Cool.
and
Very
I've
cool.
combined some of my oil painting skills to create backdrops for some of
Mhm.
these. And so this is oil painting on a canvas panel in the back. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun.
I need to do that when I do. I have a 1/144th scale,
Mhm.
C57D saucer,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna have to do the background.
yeah. I got one that probably will bring back some memories for you here. This is from Saturday morning TV,
Oh yeah, Jason of
1970.
Star Command,
right?
the Seeker.
The Space Academy, right? Yeah,
The Seeker,
right. The Seeker, exactly. Yeah.
which looks remarkably like Arc 2.
Doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. And I've got props here. Here's a prop. This is this one here, of course, the phaser from the cage.
Yeah,
And
Cage Phaser.
Yep, a few others there too. This is one that you probably recognize here from Logan's Run.
Sandman flame
Yeah,
pistol.
so this is a resin model I got from
Is that from Monsters in Motion?
Monsters in Motion, exactly.
Yeah, that's I built one of those for a client. I put a
Yeah.
flash bulb in the.
Oh, did
front of
you?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people are ambitious enough to try to put the gas.
Oh, the metal ones are actually they're like machined aluminum. They're
right.
I believe they're oxyacetylene or something, or
Mhm.
they're acetylene.
I think acetylene torches or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've
Thundar.
gotten into 3D printing, of course. So this is Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a really nice sculpt done by a guy on CG Trader. He does a lot of these. It's just really remarkable how he really captures the likeness of the characters. So,
Beautiful.
Yeah. Got tons to show you, actually. I've got this is a resin model I found at Wonderfest of the Seaview. And I decided to try my hand at making it look like a cinema.
Our other host James Lechner did one for he did the same thing for the IPMS show.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, and gosh, I have even more here. I've got this one is of course the Marauder, right?
oh yeah, Marauder from the
From Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
that's right.
that. Yeah.
No, that's right. The animated
Yeah.
series.
And then this one here is this is a 3D printed bomber,
Oh, cool.
and I did this effect using expandable foam and lighting it from underneath there.
That's very
So
cool.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
like I like the I was watching the flying sub. You did the one, I think, 1/72nd scale flying sub, but you were trying to sculpt the water.
that's
That
right.
is the hardest thing. I was
Hardest thing to do.
going, I'm glad he did this video, because if
Yeah.
I did it, I'd have to
Yeah.
throw it across the room and see how
Yeah.
aerodynamic the flying sub could actually be. So,
Oh yeah.
oh my
That's
God.
great. Yeah, I might try that again because I have newer techniques on how to sculpt water now, but that was my first time ever trying anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
So,
tried doing a sculpt for the I have a Zat gun from Stargate.
uh-huh.
So I had the Stargate, um the actual gate stand
Oh, okay.
for the figures when they came out.
Yeah.
So I made a mold of that. I still
Mhm.
have that mold, so I can make the gate stand.
Yeah.
And if you put two, if you take two stands and you glue them together, you have
Yeah.
the Stargate
Sure.
at that scale. But I made the stand, and I was sculpting out the water to basically hold the Zat gun, so it'd
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
it was like the Event Horizon, coming
Right.
through and holding the Zat gun.
Yeah.
It just never came out the way I thought it was going to come out, and I'm like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, of course. And then let's see, I've got so this is let's see here now. So here's the Spock one that you're talking about now.
Yeah, the three-headed snake. Yeah.
Yeah, the three-headed snake. And for some reason, I always thought the flowers were lit up, so that's why I put LEDs in there. Tried to make the lava glow a bit, and then I really wanted to replicate the look of the box itself. The box art.
Right.
So I printed up the landscape behind it, and added that little Enterprise at the very top there that you see.
Cool. Very cool.
So, yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
So a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, I have tons more. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of fun doing that. I love doing sci-fi. When I was a kid, I would do a lot of military models and stuff, but because my dad was in the military. But when Star Trek came out, at least Next Generation came out, they started coming out all these different models, and then I really got hooked when Federation models started coming out with the resin cast, all these variations of starships from First Contact, the battle scene.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I started building a bunch of those, and so that's kind of where I started building more models back then. Yeah.
Did you ever meet Jeff Polizzato?
No.
Oh, he did a he's a friend of mine. He had passed away about I think like 2 years now. But he had models like you couldn't believe. He had almost like a hobby shop, thing of models that he was building.
Yeah.
He did he did the scene from Rogue One with the two Star Destroyers crashing into each other.
Oh yeah.
Doing all the pieces,
Okay, right.
the little hammerhead. He did that.
Yeah.
We were talking on the show about Jeff, and he did the Martian War Machine from the War of the Worlds. He took the Atlantis model. He actually made the stalk go back and forth inside the model.
Wow. Yeah.
And he did like this clockwork drive, and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, let me show you one other one here. So this was a lot of fun to put together. This is a launch tube from Battlestar.
Oh, the launch tube for
Yeah. In fact, let me just turn this light off. So, but this is a all 3D printed, and you can see it has.
Oh, it has the it has the
two-seater.
Oh,
That's nice.
You notice it's a two-seater because I always wondered, when Apollo took Adama down to the planet's surface, how did he fit him in his single-seat Viper, right? So I decided to change it a little bit and give him at least a seat back there to sit in. And yeah, this was really a lot of fun to put together. I found these files. A friend of mine, that same gentleman, Mark Fraley, designed um, the launch railing that it sits on, as well as the background that you see there around that.
Right.
And then I thought it would be cool to have a mirror, so it looks like there's multiple Vipers sitting there.
Yeah, it's like a
That's
two-way
pretty cool.
mirror, so
Yeah,
it does the
exactly.
persistence
And
of vision effect.
tried to replicate the look that you saw on the TV show
Very
with
cool.
different colors, alternating red and blue.
That's really
yeah.
cool.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, beautiful designs on that show. I just love those models. Yeah. So there you go.
I told I think it was on the show. I said I went to the Sands Casino in New Jersey
hmm
in the '80s, and I had seen the original Battlestar Galactica. It was on display because
Oh,
Universal
did
had
you?
a tour,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it was massive. It was
Massive. At least 6 feet
Probably
long,
like-
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
at least 6 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
It was it wasn't lit,
Mm-hmm.
but the armature for it was like it had to been like it was like a 2-inch pipe that
Oh,
would run
yeah.
through it just to
I
hold it.
imagine. Yeah.
It was
Do you have any idea where that model is at now? Probably a private
Um,
owner, I guess, huh? Private collector.
it's probably
Mm.
it's probably because I know Larson Models. If you know Larson Models, they do a lot of 3D
Yes.
print stuff,
Uh-huh.
but they have studio scale models. So they have
Yeah.
a studio scale Enterprise D,
Mm-hmm.
which is like $3,900.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Lou DeMasso about it, and he was like, "I don't trust the 3D prints."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, why?" He goes, "Because they're like brittle. They're like eggshells.
They-
Like
they
if you
are.
drop them, you just drop the
Mhm.
$3,900 model.
Yeah.
Can't get it back." And I was like,
Yeah.
"But if you know how to mold, you could get the model, you could
Mhm.
mold it, and then
Yeah.
you can make it out of, like you could reinforce it with fiberglass or carbon fiber,
Right.
whatever."
Yeah.
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 So, yeah. So the things I've been doing resin and cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like making
Hmm.
things out of resin and cardboard, and actually using a vacuum to vacuum the resin into the cardboard, like you would do like with fiberglass,
Oh, I
to
see.
reinforce it. So
Wow.
apparently, my wife likes to keep Mr. Bezos happy because I have a lot of Amazon boxes.
Right.
So I have a lot of cardboard.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you could kind of make things that are kind of curved. You can make like masks and stuff.
Right.
But a lot of people ask me how how do you make the basis for the models? And I was like, well, you basically have to make a skeleton of the ship. So
Mhm.
so like whatever ship you're going to make,
Yeah.
the one that's
Mhm.
the one that's most challenging for me is the Luna from Destination Moon.
Mm-hmm.
A 6-foot version that I'd like to make. So I have to make not really concentric circles, but circles
Mm-hmm.
for the fuselage
Mm-hmm.
on a cardboard tube. And
Yeah.
they have to be like, this, and then they have to gradually go up to
Right.
the point. And they said, well, then how do you fill that in? I was like, go over to Home Depot and we get like the Great Stuff foam and just spray the foam in there,
Yeah.
and then just contour cut it, and
Oh, I see.
then you contour cut that piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then once you make that, like, I only have to make half of it,
Mm-hmm.
because then I can put fiberglass over it and then make the mold off of it,
Yeah.
like off the one side, and then just put the two halves together, and then I
Mhm.
have the ship. Then I have to make the wings.
Yeah.
The wings are the most challenging because you have that curvature, like where the wing basically goes like this,
Right.
and you
Mhm.
have that you have like that blade effect.
Mm-hmm.
That is the hardest thing, for me to replicate.
Yeah.
I've tried everything.
Yeah.
And people are like going, well, why can't you just buy like studio scale wings? And I was like, it would be nice. I was
Yeah.
like, so I'd have to spend $5,000 on a radio control
yeah.
in order to get those wings and put them
Right.
onto this model, but it's not going to be,
Yeah.
I just have to build it from scratch. So
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying
Mhm.
models of that size, you have to build an infrastructure or skeleton that you build upon, right?
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
it's like the Nautilus, like when like
Yeah.
guys have these.
Mhm. Yeah.
'Cause I
Yeah.
remember when I had worked at Steve Neal's shop in 2017. I don't know if you know who Steve Neal is.
I do. Yeah. I've seen him on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
I've seen him on YouTube. I
Oh,
know
okay.
he's in the industry. He was in the industry for.
Yeah, yeah,
He actually built them. Yeah.
yeah. He worked on Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Laser Blast was one of his movies, and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. But he had a 6 foot. He had a 6 foot um, remote control model
Mhm.
of the Disney Nautilus,
Wow.
and we brought that out to Yorba Linda Lake,
Hmm.
in California, and he was running it, putting it through its runs and everything. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a great model. And he's like going,
Yeah.
I want something smaller. I just want to grab it, put it in the water
Yeah.
instead of having two
And it
people.
floated and did everything like it's supposed to, right? It
Yeah,
actually-
yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It dives and everything.
Yeah, wow.
It uses it uses something called the company is OTW.
Mhm.
So it's an OTW cylinder. So the cylinder is basically it's an acrylic tube.
Mhm.
You put the battery pack in it. You recharge the batteries. Put the batteries in it. Everything has like baffles in it, and then it has a pump where it can pump it. It actually has. You would put all the servos in. The
Uh-huh.
motor is encapsulated and everything, and
Yeah.
you just take the cylinder, you put it down in into the model sub,
Right.
and then you hook up like the rudder and all this other stuff and like the propeller. It's 900 megahertz. Now this is what I found
Mhm.
out about. I was like, so why can't you use 2.4? He goes, 2.4 megahertz does not travel well underwater. It
Okay.
is only good on the surface, but not underwater. I said, so what do you use?
All right.
900 megahertz.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you have to get the crystal for your Futaba remote for the 900 megahertz, and you have to put it in the thing. I was like, so what happens if you're under the water and the sub suddenly loses power?
Yeah.
He said, well, there is a safety switch on it. What it does is it takes the last remaining power.
Mhm.
So when it
Okay.
gets out of range and it's underwater, it will fill up the baffles and the sub comes to the surface so you don't lose it. And I was like, that's
Wow.
awesome.
That's
So that's basically what the
ingenious.
OTW.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
But he did. If you wanted to, you could get a remote control submarine of the Seaview from him.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he does that. Like
Wow.
as well.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Yeah.
the
Have
39
you
hours.
have you met Bill Krause?
I met him on
Uh-huh.
Facebook. I haven't met him at Wonderfest. Yeah.
Yeah.
he-
So when you're talking about building an infrastructure and all these other and building a skeleton, I know that's how he starts off with a lot of his scratch build starships. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I find pretty cool.
Okay.
His endurance is fantastic. His
I
endurance
know.
starship, his endurance shuttle.
Totally. Yeah.
I had seen. I've never been to Wonderfest.
Hmm.
Never, and I really want to go. And Mark
Yeah, you
Myers
should.
has never been. He
Yeah.
really wants to go, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We might show up one day.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be, about a $1,500, $1,800 weekend. I know that
Yeah.
for just the
yeah.
hotel and all this other stuff. I just don't have that money right now.
Yeah.
It's
know.
it's all about money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just amazing though. That's one show that can really inspire you. It's almost like my year kind of revolves around Wonderfest because I'll do all these projects. We'll come back and show them off at Wonderfest. You start all over again. But whenever I go there, it's just amazing the stuff that shows up because people do things that you're like, wow, I didn't think about that, or just really unique scratch built things that like one guy did a replica of the I think it was they were filming the Millennium Falcon. You know, it was like they had the studio cameras
Oh,
and
cool.
a miniature of
Oh,
that. And I mean,
wow.
it's amazing what people come up with. And this last year, they actually had someone brought in a complete replica, a full size replica of the Ark of the Covenant from. I
I
mean,
saw that. That was the bar. The
yeah,
guy, yeah, the
Safari
guy
opens
opened
up.
up, yeah, and it was a
Yeah.
bar.
The guy told me, oh,
Nice.
there's spirits inside, right? You open it up and there's just spirits.
Really cool.
Right. But it was
That was
full on. I mean, it looked just like the one from the movie. It's incredible. But it's just amazing what you'll see when you go there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's I mean, you know, like I look at all the figure modelers and they're like, I can't do figures.
Yeah.
I'm trying out my figure skills with the Rat Bat Spider. Rat Bat Spider is really not it's not like a human being.
Yeah.
You know, when you get
Mhm.
into that human being realm
Yeah.
where you have to do skin tones and stuff
Yes.
like that, that is the hardest part.
It is. Yeah.
And it's you know,
Yeah, definitely
I mean,
still learning on that. So, yeah, I hope to do more of because that's where I want to spend a little more time doing stuff like that, and maybe doing some bigger busts and those types of things. And because that's just a different skill set and just another
Right.
challenge to try to meet, you know. But when you go there, it's amazing how realistic some of these they're able to get their busts to look. It's just crazy. Yeah.
I see people using like real hair and stuff like that and real fur.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
I-
multi layers of paint, and you know, there you make sure you get the little freckles on. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I was like, wow.
Mhm.
I'm like going, I don't even know if I want to bring my stuff. I just
Yeah. I know, because when you bring your stuff, you're like, oh yeah, this turned out really good, and you look at all the other things like, man, this is nothing. It's amazing what you see there. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the creativity is just amazing.
I did that with the Deadly Creature. I had done the Deadly Creature sculpt for the 39-inch Sea View.
Yeah.
So like the plankton monster that you see in Lost in Space. So I basically
Mhm.
made that.
Mhm.
It was a 3-foot, you know, sculpture,
Yeah.
but it was a stand for the 39-inch Sea View. So my friend had the 39-inch Sea View, and he goes, I never win for this thing. Every year I put it in competition, I light it up, and I never win. I said, because it does not have a monster attacking it. Somebody wants to have a monster attacking it. So the next year I did the Deadly Creature sculpt,
Yeah.
and I did a PVC skeleton. I did foam. I built up all the foam, and I made the monster.
Yeah.
And then I put
Mhm.
the Sea View on it, and the PVC pipe, you know, that I used, the skeleton was hollow, so I could run wires through it and put a battery pack in the base. I did the whole
Sure.
base and everything. I
Yeah.
had it actually holding the flying sub,
Yeah.
you know, and the flying sub was lit, and it had the two
Okay.
guys, like the two convicts inside, and
Uh-huh.
all this other stuff. And people were like going, "Oh my God, it's got the convicts inside the flying sub. It's got this. It's all
Right.
lit in there." So I won for the Deadly Creature, and then my friend finally won
One for
for for
the sea view.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
you know,
Yeah.
That's pretty
great.
cool.
and I was
That's
like,
pretty cool.
So, but yeah, we were doing. We had and I had done on the show. I said my next sculpt for the 39-inch view is going to be the Leviathan sculpt.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of Leviathan
I
on Voyage of
probably have,
Omnisci.
yeah. Uh-huh.
It's the one with the scientist with the yellow sweater where he gets real big and he's
Uh-huh.
attacking the sea view, but he kind of looks like the Wolf Man. He's got the dime store.
Uh-huh.
He got like the dime store fangs. That's the one I have to build for Wonder
Oh,
Foods.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If you see that one, that's mine. So,
Yeah.
because James had said, "Oh, you know, you gotta build that." So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we have 8 minutes left. So how can people find you? They can find the Interstellar Modeler channel.
Yeah, Interstellar Modeler channel on YouTube. That's really the easiest way.
Okay.
And I'm on Facebook too. I have both my page under Augie Gonzalez and under Interstellar Modeler, and also on Instagram. If you look for Interstellar Modeler, I'm there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
right, so
and I'm
I'm
currently
going to-
working on my next project is a 172 scale, so a much smaller scale of the Orca from Jaws. So this is a
Oh.
little departure
Ooh.
from sci-fi, but this is actually going to be a
Okay.
gift for my son, who's a big fan of the film. and he doesn't have a lot of room, so I found a 172 scale actually at a model train online store. And because they do all kinds of HO scale stuff, they actually have all kinds of HO scale boats and things you can put into a diorama or a scene, right?
Oh,
And
that's
one of
cool.
the things they have available is the Orca from Jaws, so that's gonna be a lot of fun to work on.
Nice. Are you gonna do a I had seen somebody did a like like the deep pour resin where they did the shark coming up for the
That,
thing.
because it was the 50th anniversary of the movie this year, a number of things showed up at Wonderfest related to Jaws and having the shark and all these other things. But no, this is gonna be a simple. He lives in an apartment, so he doesn't have a lot of space to store
Oh,
things. So
okay.
it's gonna be on a nice little display base. So that's gonna be fun. And then I also have the Type 9 shuttle from Cosmic Scale Models I'll be working on. Lou did that build also. It's a
Oh,
pretty big size replica of this from the shuttle from Voyager. And I'm going to do another $6 million man build, which I really enjoyed doing that. I did the Bionic bust out
yeah,
recently.
the bionic bust
And
out. That was
yeah, and
great.
I
Okay.
stuck LEDs in his bionics because as a kid I always thought he had glowing bionics on the inside. So I'm going to be doing the one with the gorilla that he's ready to throw over his head, and then I also just finished a Planet of the Apes build too. That
The
was
Dr. Zaius with the
Dr.
doll. Yeah, I thought
Zaius.
that was
Yes,
pretty cool.
exactly. Thank you. Yeah, and I'll be
I
building the Cornelius one next, so that'll be fun.
If you
Yeah.
need anything molded and clear, just tell me. Because
Oh, okay.
I had always had that model kit,
Uh-huh.
and a friend of mine said, "Can you mold this in clear for me, like the control panel for the
Yes.
missile?" And I
Right.
was like, "Yeah, I'm sure I could." And I
Hmm.
did. Like I made a mold of it, and I just
Yeah.
molded it in clear. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I
if
just
you need
might
any,
take you up on that because I might buy a second model of Zaius and not convert his costume into. Because what I did this time is I converted the costume he was molded into the run from the original film.
right,
And
right,
right, and so, but I still have the base I worked on, so I might end up, yeah, I might take you up on that.
okay, all right,
Yeah, for sure.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to make people
Cool.
happy, and
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And that's the funnest part of all of this is it's a great way to escape stuff and stress, and you can kind of like dive into a little nostalgia stuff when you were a kid. That's really a lot of fun to do that. So,
yeah, I've
yeah.
been working on like some Superman stuff, and
Are you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Back in '96, I did a sculpt of the kryptonite, on the chain
Mm-hmm.
that Lex Luthor puts around
Yeah.
Superman's
That's
neck
ours.
in
Yeah.
Superman the movie.
Yeah.
I did that in '96, and what I do is every 20 years or so, my molds start to degrade, so I basically have to do a master mold.
Oh, I
Sometimes I
see.
have to resculpt,
Yeah.
but I'm using newer technology now. Now I have the LED filament, so I have an
Yeah.
LED, segment that I can put into the thing and make it a little bit brighter.
Mm-hmm.
It will
Mm-hmm.
be, I think it'll be bright as like a car headlight, but it'll be, like around your neck.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Okay.
the other, the the other segment or the element I can make for Tony Stark's reactor, his chest reactor, the one that he does, I think in Iron Man 2,
Uh-huh.
when he creates the new element because
Uh-huh.
like palladium is killing his body.
Sure.
I can
Mhm.
make that that little triangle segment out of those
Yeah.
LEDs. So
Yeah.
like out of the blue LED to put into the thing. So I was working on that.
Yeah.
I'm working on a million other props and stuff and some costumes.
That's neat.
I'm
Yeah.
working on the UFO alien helmet that
Oh, are you?
my friend Mark Craig had wanted.
Yeah.
Mark Craig and I were working on that, together, because he wants to get a whole suit. He just needs the helmet. And
Yeah.
then James Lechner wants to do the space helmet from UFO,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like like the shadow space helmet,
Right. Right.
like the moon base
Mhm.
helmet. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be another, $3,000 worth of resin and mold rubber.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my friend John McCallum 3D printed this for me.
Hmm.
It's the Invaders disintegrator pistol from the Invaders.
Oh, that's one show I really haven't watched.
Oh,
It was either never on in syndication when I was a kid. I
okay.
don't know. I know you can find it now streaming somewhere, but I've never watched that show.
That's the
Yeah,
John. Yeah, John.
Okay.
John created all those files for me.
yeah,
So,
very cool.
Yeah, we'll
All
get some
right.
stuff to you. So,
Fun stuff.
all right, it is 2:58.
Okay.
I just wanted to thank our guest Augie Gonzalez for being on and showing all of his models, and his channel on YouTube is Interstellar Modeler.
hmm
Please go there, put it as your saved favorite, because I know I have it as a saved favorite. You will learn a lot. You can ask questions.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to like answer questions. Just don't inundate him with with a lot of questions. But anyway, I'd like to also thank our sponsors, Atena Controls, Ralph Tenaglia, Atena Controls, bringing models to light, and also AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. If you cannot get to their Magnolia, New Jersey store, they do have a website called megahobby.com. I don't have any other sponsors, so not yet, but we will.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me on. This was a pleasure to talk to you with you guys. I really did have a lot of fun.
Maybe we can have you on our season finale show. Our season finale show it will probably be Memorial Day weekend. So I don't
cool.
know, or like a day before, or
yeah,
a couple of days before. So
yeah, just let me know.
All right, thank you very
Sounds
much
great.
for
Thanks,
being
you guys.
All right.
This has been Model Citizen. I'm your host, George Dayer. Printmaster James was not on today. Of course, he missed a terrific show, and I'm going to kill him for that. No, I'm not going to kill him for that.
So James is fired.
And the next week he'll be rehired. So
Yeah, there you go.
And also, I want to thank my co-host, the angriest of IT nerds, Gilbert Floyd, for keeping everything running. I'm putting up with my BS. Thank you. This has been a model.
All right, you guys.